85 kilograms of cocaine discovered from a sugar container from Brazil.
7 tons of basmati rice unsuitable for consumption discovered in Paliagoda.
Civil activists question as to why legal action is not being taken against the governor of the central bank, Arjuna Mahendran.
Anti-Corruption Committee Secretariat on the verge of being disbanded.
Hello there, very good evening and welcome to your Primetime News Bulletin. I'm Shane Silva.
And I'm Aishwarya Pinto. Let's start off with the Nikita stories.
In your stories in detail now, the Unit for Combating Illegal Liquor and Drugs of the Ministry of Finance says that the consignment of cocaine discovered from the Orgodavatta container yard today is the single most valued discovery of cocaine made in the country. The street value of a kilogram of cocaine is 30 million rupees and today's discovery weighs at 85 kilograms.
The cocaine was discovered within a container imported by a business located in Peta, which had been importing sugar for over 25 years. The origin of the container was Brazil. The police special task force said that it was tipped that narcotics was being smuggled inside these containers over a period of time, and an investigation had led to today's discovery. Although the cargo container has been scanned by customs, there was no indication that it contained narcotics. Afterwards, the police special task force and the Unit for Combating Illegal Liquor and Drugs of the Ministry of Finance Narcotics re-examined the cargo. This is an organized smuggling ring. We hope to conduct further operations because there is a high possibility of narcotics being smuggled inside containers of sugar. According to the STF, cocaine was discovered concealed inside 4 bags of sugar. All containers entering the country are examined meticulously. However, when it was scanned, the scanners were not able to pick it up. There are hundreds of containers entering the country from various countries, and drugs could be smuggled in using various techniques. We need machinery that can identify and detect these drugs. President Maithripala Sirisena visited the Orgodavatta container yard this evening to inspect the seized narcotics. On behalf of the government, the people and the children, I thank the officers for being honest in this task. We will further strengthen the government's program to eradicate drugs.
මන්ත්‍රාවේ මර්ධනය සම්බන්ධයෙන් රජය ගෙනියන වැඩපිළිවෙල අපි මීටත් වඩා තව දැඩි කරනවා ශක්තිමත් කරනවා සුදු පාලනයක පිරිසුදු
Clean governance with a clean system is evident. If such things are taking place, we need to be informed. We need to bring real development to the country. Persons engaged in these acts must be put behind bars. The media must also support us to bring this change. These operations will continue. There seems to be no arrival of ethanol. We will stop these things.
කියලා පේන්නේ නැහැ මෙන්න මේ වගේ නවත්තන එක තමයි අපි කටයුතු කරන්නේ.
The Unit for Combating Illegal Liquor and Drugs of the Ministry of Finance said that the head of the sugar importing business was arrested. Investigations are underway to locate another suspect who is abroad, and the suspect will be handed over to the Police Narcotics Bureau for investigations. Large consignments of narcotics raided during the past few months. 30th January 2016, 20 kilograms of heroin seized. 1 suspect arrested. 5th February 2016, well-known drug racketeer from Colombo arrested in Nicambo. 14th February 2016, Venezuelan woman arrested for entering the country after swallowing 87 packets of cocaine. 22nd March 2016, notorious heroin trafficker Vasanta Mendis arrested in Thailand. 26th March 2016, Police Narcotic Bureau arrest suspect with 5 kilograms of heroin in Balisara. 27th March 2016, 4 Maldivian nationals arrested with 3.244 kilograms of heroin. 1st of April 2016, joint operation between the Sri Lanka Navy and the Police Narcotics Bureau in the Southern Seas results in a discovery of 101 kilograms of heroin. 4th April 2016, 1.206 kilograms of cocaine discovered from a garden located down Kamunumawatha in Ihalagama, Ragama. Today, 85 kilograms of cocaine discovered from a container at the Orogodawatha container yard. For your attention.
7 tons of basmati rice not suitable for consumption was discovered from a cement storage facility in Paliagoda.
The discovery was made by the Crimes Investigations Unit of the Paliagoda Division.
According to the police, a racket has been launched from this location to distribute rice unsuitable for consumption. The storage facility was inspected following a tip-off. They had been storing about 7 tons of unsuitable rice. They have been repackaging from this location. They have already dispatched 160 packs of rice to the Ratmalani Economic Centre by last evening. When we came here, the warehouse was closed from the outside. They pack the rice here in the midst of cement dust. They package it in 25 kilogram bags. Police said that 3 suspects were arrested and later released on a bond.
Civil society activists as well as opposition activists are calling on the government not to extend the tenure of the central bank governor.
Do you think one or more politicians are involved with the governor and others to the detriment of the people of Sri Lanka?
Definitely, that is my personal opinion is there are and that opinion I have come into by looking at the events that preceded the alleged incident and what is going on now and the role that the politicians are playing, being dumb about what is going on so bad in the country at the moment. I mean, no inquiry, however much it is manifested to appear otherwise, can close this. You know, the unfortunate thing is, to date, can you tell me whether there is a single inquiry that has gone to the conclusive level in this matter? Not a single.
And that is the problem, isn't it?
Exactly. You see, he remains indicted on a prima facie case leveled against him. Accusations against him, still unresolved. It is unconcluded.
If the president decides to extend the tenure of the central bank governor on the 30th of this month, then all foreign investors will withdraw their money and leave the country because his credibility has been destroyed. If he is appointed once again, they will withdraw their remaining funds as well.
Today the central bank governor is doing whatever it takes to safeguard his position. Moreover, the ministers in the current government are speaking in favour of the governor of the central bank in a very shameful manner. We say that his tenure must not be extended. He must be sent home on the 30th of June. We believe that this government is one that listens to the voice of the people of this country. However, if this is not the case, it will be obvious on the 30th of this month. If they do not take the correct measure, it will be the beginning of the destruction in the country's economy. There is just one thing that could be done about this. If the President and the Prime Minister are under the impression that the Governor of the Central Bank is much more important than the Presidency, the post of Prime Minister and the aspirations of the people, then we will definitely bring about the same struggle we launched against Mahinda Rajapaksa and his destructive economic policies. This is similar to a litmus test of the good governance government. During the previous regime, when Gotabaya Rajapaksa, Basil Rajapaksa, their loyalists and relatives did similar things, Mahinda Rajapaksa protected them. That is what was said, wasn't it? So when Arjuna Mahindaran is causing so much damage, who is protecting him? And who else is willing to protect him further? Not reappointing him is not enough. Doing so is similar to letting a thief who just stole something to go scot-free. It shouldn't be so. An investigation must be held. This is a matter concerning public funds.
The Anti-Corruption Committee Secretariat, which was established to inquire into large-scale corruption and fraud of the previous government, is on the verge of dying a natural death after the 1st of July. Even though the tenure of the Secretariat is near its end, the government has taken no measures to extend its term.
The Anti-Corruption Committee Secretariat was established following a decision made by the Cabinet on the 11th of February last year based on a proposal put forward by Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. The Secretariat's objective was to investigate large-scale fraud and corruption which took place during the previous administration and to take legal action against those responsible as well as to prevent a recurrence of such incidents. Following preliminary investigations into over 300 complaints it has received, the Anti-Corruption Committee Secretariat has handed over these cases to the Criminal Investigations Department, Police Financial Crimes Investigation Division of the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption for further investigations. Following up on such cases was another service of the Secretariat.
From what we have got to know, the issue with the officials at this establishment is that no matter how hard and tirelessly they work on these investigations, they do not see any positive progress. The relevant documents of these investigations have been examined by the FCIT and have been handed over to the Attorney General's Department. However, the implementation of the law into these cases do not come into action as expected. So most of these officers are waiting for the tenure of this Secretariat to end so they could leave this place. The government has not announced clearly whether the tenure of this office will be extended. Many in this government from both parties are in favour of this Secretariat being disbanded because all of them have their own dirt. Everyone is afraid that their own dirt would be exposed. From what we know, plans are in motion to allow this Secretariat to suffer a natural death.
The case filed by the Police Financial Crimes Investigations Division against former Minister Johnston Fernando was examined at the Kurunegala High Court once again today.
Even though it was scheduled today for the 53 documents pertaining to the charges filed against Johnston Fernando to be handed over to the defendants, the documents were not submitted to court today. Thereby, the case is to be taken up once again on the 7th of July for all documents as marked in the indictments by the complainant to be submitted. The 24th and 25th of August, which was set for the case to be heard, were changed to the 28th and 29th of September.
We say that however much they try to suppress the leaders and MPs of the joint opposition with various charges, they will not be able to control public opposition towards this government.
Journalists also questioned the parliamentarian on the leadership of the joint opposition.
There is no issue whatsoever concerning the leadership. Issues relating to the leadership are being created. So this is the real situation. That is what you call a police state. There is no government if not for the police. That is the true story.
Meanwhile, former Minister Kelaniya was summoned to the Police Financial Crimes Investigation Division. The former minister was summoned to record a statement over the charge of allegedly obtaining medical treatment from a foreign hospital at a cost of 20 million rupees. Our correspondent said that the former minister was at the FCID for nearly 4 hours.
I was asked why I fell in Australia. Yes, that is all. Where? I don't know. At least not for now. Thank you very much.
Former MP Kieran Alice was granted permission today to travel abroad by Colombo High Court Judge AAR Heyanthudua to receive medical treatment.
Permission was granted after a motion produced by Alice was taken up for consideration.
The passport of Kieran Alice was impounded on a previous occasion with regard to a case pertaining to the Reconstruction and Development Agency, or RADA. On a previous occasion, Alice made a request from the 4th Magistrates Court to travel to Singapore for medical treatment. However, this request was turned down. Later, he filed a revision application. Courts took into consideration the medical report presented by Colombo Chief JMO Dr. Ajit Tennakoon on Kieran Alice and other facts that were presented and granted Alice permission to travel overseas for 3 months and to obtain treatment within 3 weeks. Colombo High Court Judge AAR Heyanthurwa ordered that 100,000 rupees bail in cash and 500,000 rupees surety bail be placed.
Housing aid was distributed to victims of the fire and explosions that took place at the Salava army camp recently. 50,000 rupees each was granted as compensation to area residents whose houses were damaged in the explosions.
Under the first phase, checks were presented to 92 families at the Hangwala Divisional Secretariat.
239 persons have been deemed suitable to receive compensation. They too could obtain compensation in the future. If you want to see whether your name has been approved to receive compensation, you could refer the documents we have posted at the 12 coordination officers established at divisional level. The Gram Nilgiri officers and police have also been given a copy of these names. We also hope to call those concerned personally to inform them if they are eligible for this concession.
The Western Province Ministry of Education arranged for lunch to be provided to students living around the Kosgam area. Newsfirst travelled across the Salava area to inspect the current situation.
I am close to a house which was destroyed in the explosions which were caused by a fire at the Salava army camp in Kosgama. There are many houses in the area which are destroyed like this. Moreover, homes at the radius of 3 to 4 kilometers to the army camp have sustained partial damages.
The public stated that even though several houses which were damaged had been inspected, no solution had been provided as yet.
They came and took our names down and took note of the level of damage inflicted, but it doesn't seem like they will rebuild our houses fast enough. We need our houses back as soon as possible.
The Army Engineering Corps together was seen engaging in a program to reconstruct damaged houses today as well. While houses which were completely destroyed in the fire could be seen, temporary tents could also be seen opposite such destroyed houses. Many area residents are demanding that their houses be rebuilt as soon as possible.
Everything was destroyed in one night. We want compensation to restore and rebuild our lives. I am 70 years old, so we want a full compensation to rebuild everything. It was said that 50,000 rupees would be given. Many of the people have already got it. I honestly have not got it as yet. I do not know why, but I submitted all the required documentation to the authorities.
Operations were underway today as well to clear shrapnel from the area surrounding the Kosgama camp. Meanwhile, the Sri Lanka Navy, which undertook the task of reconstructing the Salava hospital, was able to hand over administration of the hospital back to its medical staff.
The 8 students of the University of Kelaniya who were produced before the Mahara Magistrates Court today over an alleged dragging incident were placed under remand custody once again.
They were produced before court once again today in anticipation of bail. The lawyer representing the defendants said that the students have been remanded for 39 days. A videotape involving the first defendant was also produced in court. At this instance, court ordered for the videotape to be handed over to the University of Moratuwa and for a report to be compiled. The students were remanded until the 28th of this month.
Minister of Justice and Buddha Sasana Vijaydas Rajapaksa has announced the launching of a project to clean up all canals in Colombo in a bid to control floods. The minister made the announcement while speaking at an event in Vallampitiya.
35 temples that were damaged by the recent floods in the area were presented with 100,000 rupees each this evening. Parliamentarian S.M. Marikar was also present at the event which took place at the Parama Dharmodaya Vihara in Vallampitiya. 141 million rupees has been allocated by Cabinet for the Ministry of Megapolis to clean all the canals through the Low-Lying Areas Development Board. We estimate the project to cost approximately $8 million in order to provide a permanent solution by completely cleaning the canals. We have to conduct this task successfully. Like it or not, we are living in a society where we have to live with the bane and boon of technology. When parents direct their children towards education, a competitive environment is created. As we direct the children to the boon of technology through the places of worship, we also have to control the bane in that aspect and create a moral society.
The press conference organised by the Maldives United Opposition was held in Colombo today.
During the briefing, the Maldives United Opposition highlighted the needs for interim administration to oversee elections, reform the judiciary and facilitate free and fair elections.
It has been widely apparent in recent times that the dictator's regime in Maldives stands accused of seriously undermining the constitution and the basic rights of the people. The dictator and collaborators are complicit in rampant corruption and embezzlement of millions of dollars from state coffers. Some of our islands are being sold off amidst growing rifts among various different factions of dictator's regime. Recent alarming incidents of violence and murders on the roads of Male signify failure and willful negligence of the ruling regime to keep law and order. It is also alarming that the present regime's foreign policy have brought contentious issues in the world to our neighborhood, distancing the excellent and cordial relations we have had for many years. The number of radicalized Maldivian youth who have joined ISIS is now estimated to exceed 300. These days, as the dictator threatens to rig elections through electronic voting, he had reconstituted the Elections Commission with known regime activists. We have no recourse other than to explain to our supporters how untrustworthy e-voting can become in the present climate of mistrust and lack of transparency.
Yi Jianliang, the Chinese ambassador to Sri Lanka, engaged in a tour of the northern province today.
A meeting between the Chinese ambassador and the governor of the northern province, Reginald Kure, took place this morning at the governor's office.
We will support the unity of the three groups, Tenure, Sinhalese and the Muslim, at the united Sri Lanka. We will do our best in this regard. We support the reconciliation process as well as the reconstruction in this region. And we welcome all the forces in this island and also outside of this island. We'll do the best to support the peace, stability and development in this region.
The International Monetary Fund says that despite positive growth momentum, the Sri Lankan economy is facing challenges due to a difficult external environment and a period of significant political transition. The IMF made this statement following the conclusion of the Article 4 consultation of the IMF Executive Board.
According to the statement, the board welcomes Sri Lanka's commitment to strengthen macroeconomic and financial stability by putting public finances on a more sustainable path. We're building foreign exchange reserves and undertaking reforms to foster sustainable and inclusive growth. It adds that the steadfast implementation of prudent policies under the fund-supported program will be important to improve market confidence and encourage investment. The directors of the IMF have also welcomed Sri Lanka's commitment to reduce the fiscal deficit and underscored that well-designed growth-friendly consolidated efforts will be necessary to ensure fiscal and debt sustainability. In addition, the statement noted that priority should be given to enhancing revenues through the implementation of new tax legislation, eliminating exemptions, building capacity in revenue administration, and tightening expenditure management. The importance of pushing ahead with state enterprise reform, including expeditious resolution of Sri Lankan Airlines, has also been highlighted.
Appearing on the Face the Nation program, the political program yesterday, Minister of Finance Ravi Karunanika expressed his views on creating a better future for the country.
And all we want to do is be responsive to the business society. We want to be responsive to the people. Our job is to ensure that we provide the best of ability to the nation at any given moment. We have gone through many economic turbulences. We have to navigate our economy into the right direction. You know, I don't think any government that has come into such short office has gone through economic turbulence, has gone through a catastrophic geographical disaster as the floods that were there, then the Salava that was there, and worstly, inheriting an economy where it has been looted, where we are unable to look at tomorrow without yesterday's money being there. So, putting all together, consolidating, having future plans all put together and giving the sense of confidence to the people, I think we have done our best in the trying circumstances that are there. But together we'll ensure that the people will be able to get a better tomorrow than what they are enjoying today.
And that's a wrap of your primetime news for the Newsfirst team. I'm Aishwarya Pinto.
And I'm Shane Silva. Take care and good night.